So many changes will come to Disney World this year, so what's on the horizon, what official dates have been announced, and what might trip you up in the parks if you don't know about it? Find out today here on DFB Guide. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog. Now that we're officially entering into 2023, we're going over all the announcements and changes that are coming to the Disney World parks, as well as talking about the things that have been left unsaid that we're still desperate to hear more about. Could 2023 be the year we finally learn more about number 15 on this list? If you'd like a printable list of all the important Disney World dates happening in 2023, like openings, closures, events, you name it, make sure to drop us your email at disneyfoodblog.com/2023updates. That way you can refer back to the list whenever you start jumping into all your Disney planning. Not to mention, it's totally free. But we're not going to jump ahead. We're going to start with Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain's official closing date. Will you be able to get one last ride on this log flume before it takes its final plunge? Tiana's Bayou Adventure is coming to Frontierland in the Magic Kingdom by late 2024, but in order for Tiana's ride to start coming together, we gotta say farewell to Splash Mountain and that Briar Patch, since the Splash Mountain area will now be the new stomping grounds for the Mardi Gras themed Princess and the Frog ride. Splash Mountain will be closing for good on January 23rd, 2023, and that means the last day you're going to be able to ride is January 22nd. If you're going to Magic Kingdom before Splash Mountain's permanent closure, I recommend grabbing Lightning Lanes on Genie Plus for this one first, because those lines leading up to that closing date will be very, very long. But here's a secret tip if you want to get on the ride without paying for Genie Plus with a shorter wait. If the day you're visiting Magic Kingdom is cold, if it's like 50 degrees, 55 degrees, if you go in the morning, not a lot of people want to ride Splash Mountain early in the morning on a cold day in Disney World, so you may be able to deal with a much shorter line if you try to ride in the morning on a cold day. There we go. All right, the 50th anniversary celebrations are coming to an end. It's another Disney World experience wrapping up. This one we've known about for quite a while. Disney World's 18-month-long 50th anniversary celebration will be wrapping up on March 31st. But a new celebration is going to be kicking off starting in January for the Walt Disney Company's, the company as a whole, 100th year anniversary. The anniversary will be called the Disney 100 Years of Wonders, and though the home base of this celebration will be in Disneyland, we expect some of that celebration to trickle over into Disney World territory too. We've already seen a bunch of merchandise, and we already know one major part of Disney World that'll be impacted by the 100th year anniversary. We've got new nighttime shows coming to Epcot and Magic Kingdom. Wait, there are more things that'll be coming to a close in Disney World this year, not just Splash Mountain in the 50th anniversary? Disney has revealed that Harmonious will be ending its run in 2023 to make way for a 100th anniversary-inspired fireworks show over in Epcot. And in Magic Kingdom, the Happily Ever After theme song that so many Disney fans missed dearly will be returning in 2023 to Disney World as well as part of an updated fireworks spectacular, so see you later, Enchantment. This big fireworks change was announced during the 2022 D23 Expo, but we still don't know when the premieres for either show will happen. We'll continue to keep you updated. In fact, if you want immediate Disney news updates sent directly to your email, you can always sign up for our DFB newsletter. I'll drop the link down in the description below. It's totally free, and you can unsubscribe from it at any time. Now it's time to talk about something that's commencing versus ending. Tron is opening in Magic Kingdom. It's almost here, my friends. Tron Light Cycle Run, after 84 years, it's finally opening in 2023. 84 years is not an exaggeration. I don't know what you're talking about. Disney announced that Tron Light Cycle Run will be speeding into Tomorrowland starting sometime in spring 2023. I know, you were probably wishing for a more concrete date than that. So was I. But for now, this is what we know. We've been seeing more and more ride vehicle testing recently, which is exciting. As the construction progresses, we've started to see frequent instances of the vehicles being tested throughout the track and even with water bags on them. And we started to hear the music playing over there in Tron, which is really cool. And in the surrounding area, lights have been added to the ramp railing, landscaping is being installed. It looks like additional light posts have gone up in several spots. And who says all the new excitement for 2023 is just going to happen during daylight hours, right? After hours events are coming back on January 4th in Disney's Hollywood Studios and on January 9th in Magic Kingdom. But what are after hours events? And are they anything like Magic Kingdom's holiday parties? Well, kinda, but they won't close the parks early for everyone else to make them happen. After hours events are separately ticketed parties where you can stay in the theme parks for 3 hours after they close. There are special treats and drinks included with your ticket price, so take advantage of those as much as you can throughout the night. Basically free popcorn and free ice cream novelties and free sodas and water. Because the number of tickets sold for the parties is limited, you can often find much lower wait times than usual on the rides and attractions, which could make that separate cost super worth it for you and your group. Not to mention, even though the after-hours events technically start up after the parks close, you'll still be able to enter the parks up to 3 hours before the event kicks off. To purchase these tickets, check out the Disney World website. Though you won't have to worry about making a park pass reservation to experience these after-hours events, it's still a good idea to purchase them sooner rather than later to guarantee your ticket before they get all snatched up. Another new attraction coming in, Journey of Water inspired by Moana, is opening in Epcot. Disney has finally revealed when we should expect this attraction to go live in the World Nature section of Epcot, but first a little background. This immersive water-based walkthrough attraction is going to bring a whole new type of interactive experience to Disney World in late 2023. But one of the most exciting parts of this attraction is the massive Te Fiti sculpture looming over a section of the living waters. And exciting news, Te Fiti has finally arrived in Epcot. If you want to see her in all her glory, try taking a ride aboard the Epcot monorail. You should be able to see her peeking out over the construction, and she is gorgeous. I literally cannot wait for this attraction. I know that it's probably going to be boring for a lot of people, and it's kind of focused on little kids getting a chance to run around, but I think it's going to be relaxing, and I think it's going to be a super chill experience in the middle of the park, and I can't wait. Another addition to Epcot, they are keeping busy in 2023. Late 2023 isn't just going to welcome in Journey of Water, but you also are going to get the new Communicore Hall and Plaza, which will become the official home base for the Epcot festivals. Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza will be housed in Epcot's World Celebration, bringing Epcot International Festivals to the center of Walt Disney World. Communicore Plaza will provide an outdoor space where guests can come to relax and experience festival offerings like large-scale performances and concerts, while Communicore Hall will be housed within the plaza and become the first fully purpose-built structure in festival programming, which will give each of the festivals the opportunity to provide more food offerings, more art and merchandise, more live music, etc. As the seasons and seasonal festivals change throughout the year, this will be reflected in a World Celebration hub divided into several different gardens. In the center of the hub will be a planter based on the 5-ring Epcot logo. The gardens will also evolve along with the seasons. These gardens are being built to offer plenty of shade and seating for guests, meaning fewer trash can tables maybe, and each one will have its own identity with the ability to change to go along with the festivals throughout the year. And each night the gardens will take on a whole new life where lighting will enhance the evening experience. So I think it's gonna be beautiful, and again, another relaxing, chill space, just what we need. And let's not forget another big addition coming to the World Celebration area, the Walt the Dreamer statue. The statue represents Walt's dedication to the future and will be located near the exit of Spaceship Earth. Alright, Figment is breaking out of his Journey into Imagination dark ride to have his very own meet and greet sometime in this year. Figment should be able to interact with guests outside his ride later in 2023. That's all we know so far, but be prepared to take plenty of pictures. What? Genie Plus has changed again? Oh yeah, but this time for the better. Genie Plus is a premium planning tool that allows guests to book those lightning lanes, aka much faster queue lines than the standard ones, through the My Disney Experience app. Before, if you were using Genie Plus, you couldn't modify a lightning lane selection in the My Disney Experience app without completely canceling the previous reservation first, and that was a pain. But now you can modify lightning lane reservations without canceling a thing. You now have the option to modify those lightning lane selections, making things a whole lot easier and less stressful. You can also change specific members in your group who are attached to a lightning lane reservation before submitting any changes. So if someone decides that, no, they'd rather not get totally drenched on Kali River Rapids in Animal Kingdom, then you should be able to adjust your lightning lane reservation and remove them without having to cancel the whole thing. This isn't going to be the end of Genie Plus changes. We expect more to happen throughout 2023, so make sure you're checking back in with us here so we can fill you in on when exactly more changes are going to happen. That way you can roll with the punches and not be thrown off when you arrive at the parks. The Hatbox Ghost is also arriving in Magic Kingdom. Figment isn't the only Disney Park cult classic character making more of a splash in 2023. Hatbox Ghost is going to be materializing in Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion for the first time. In 2015, Hatbox Ghost became a happy haunt of the Disneyland version of Haunted Mansion, where he quickly became a fan favorite. He is super cool. But now he's going to be Master Gracing us with his presence in Disney World sometime in 2023. Now, if we could only get the Nightmare Before Christmas holiday overlay in here too, then things rooms would be just perfect, but I get that you can't do that, Disney World. I understand. Moving on to tons of new restaurants. Don't panic, everyone. There's lots of new grub and grog coming to the Disney World scene next year, so we are going to be very busy here at DFP. Summer House on the Lake from Let Us Entertain You Management, will be coming to Disney Springs in 2023. This will be a similar concept to the group's already existing Summer House Santa Monica, which currently has locations in Chicago and North Bethesda. We even got to pay a visit to the Summer House location in Chicago to bring you a review of what we might be able to expect when the Disney Springs location opens. I'll link our review down in the description for you to check out later on. Summer House is known for pizzas, pasta, sandwiches, and weekend brunch, which will make it a solid option for families looking for a menu that offers a little bit of everything. If it feels like you've been waiting years for Roundup Rodeo Barbecue in Disney's Hollywood Studios to open up, that's because you have been. Originally, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue was supposed to open its doors in 2020, but construction hit a bit of a speed bump when the global pandemic shut down the parks. Though Disney thought they'd be ready to open the table service restaurant in Toy Story Land later in 2022, the release date has now been bumped back to spring 2023. But when it finally does open, it'll be a family-friendly dining experience that serves barbecue, in a place-set-inspired Western town. We got a little bit more detail for you there in our Best Restaurants of 2023 video. The Cake Bake Shop by Gwendolyn Rogers will be coming to Disney's Boardwalk in 2023, serving more than just cakes, though that'll definitely be a big draw for this table service restaurant. The Cake Bake Shop is expected to also have savory items and an afternoon tea service, so who's ready for a tea party? Especially with the Grand Floridian's tea room not returning yet. We had the opportunity to interview the owner of the Cake Bake Shop to get some exclusive and insider details on the new location. I'll link that in the description for you. And along with that, we were also able to try one of the current Cake Bake Shop housed in Indianapolis, Indiana. So if you want an idea of what might be available at the new Boardwalk location, check out our review when you get the chance. You'll find that post linked down below too. And surprise, Rosa Mexicano will open its first Orlando area location at the Walt Disney World Swan and Dolphin in early 2023. The new restaurant will offer an elevated fiesta dining experience, which will include signature menu items and award-winning margaritas, and so you can sign me up for that. I love a fiesta. And lastly, Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa Narcoossee's is set to reopen sometime in 2023. This upscale yet casual seafood restaurant closed back on July 14th, 2022, as Disney started giving it a major overhaul with a promised enhanced experience once it reopens. We're hyped to see what exactly that means, and we'll let you know just as soon as we hear more about its grand return. Speaking of Narcoossee's construction, there is a lot of construction at the resort hotels right now. 2023 isn't just going to be a big year for the parks, it's going to be a big year for those hotels too. Over at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, you're going to find a whole lot of dirt and cleared land right next to Seven Seas Lagoon. But why such a giant dirt pile? This area is the future home of a brand new Disney Vacation Club tower for Polynesian Village, which will feature new rooms and dining options and merchandise locations. The new tower is expected to open in 2024, but in the meantime, things are going to look pretty construction heavy back there. Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa is also in the middle of some major construction work. Several rooms are being renovated in the same Mary Poppins theming that happened for the newly refurbished DVC Villas at the Big Pine Key building, which opened just this past summer. And the lobby's going to undergo some big changes too. Disney announced that Grand Floridian's new look will maintain the classic theming guests know and love with some fresh new enhancements. So far, we don't have a start or end date for when these lobby refurbishments might begin, but we'll be keeping an eye out for more information from Disney. And over at Disney's Boardwalk Inn, big changes are on the horizon. I've already talked about the Cake Bake Shop and the Carousel Coffee Shop slated to open in 2023, but along with new places to eat and drink, Disney is working to reinvigorate the resort's lobby and rooms to add in some light and airy touches. Not too long ago, the Boardwalk's Bellevue Lounge reopened with a new look, which brought some brighter touches to the furniture and decor, giving the space a more modern and freshened up style, though it is a little bit controversial since it's so different from what so many Boardwalk fans are used to. We expect this style to be very similar to what the rest of the resort is going to look like once all the updates are finished, so stay tuned. Now let's switch gears for a second. We're heading into 2023 with just as many questions surrounding the future of Disney World as we have answers. So let's talk about the 5 biggest lingering questions and concerns that we hope to learn more about now that a new year is upon us. First, will we learn more about the Blue Sky projects? Coco, Encanto, the Disney villains, Moana, Zootopia. What do these Disney concepts have in common? They were all mentioned during the 2022 D23 convention as being potential new areas in Magic Kingdom and Disney's Disney's Animal Kingdom. But here's the catch. These are all considered to be blue sky projects. You know the phrase, the sky's the limit? That's what a blue sky idea essentially is. Imagineers get together and brainstorm what could come to the Disney parks, and if there's a way they can actually pull the whole thing off. So although these ideas are exciting when a project's in a blue sky phase, nothing's ever set in stone. The project could move forward, it could be pushed to the back burner, or it could be scrapped altogether. But the fact that Josh D'Amaro, president of the Disney Parks Experiences and Products division at Disney, felt confident enough to share some blue sky ideas during the D23 Parks panel really captured our attention. Could Magic Kingdom really be adding Coco and Kanto and the Disney villains somewhere behind Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in the future? And will Disney's Animal Kingdom see Moana and Zootopia next to or completely replacing Dino Land USA? In the past, several blue sky projects have been greenlit and brought to life. Just recently, Galactic Star Cruiser was pulled out of its blue sky phase and turned into reality. And in the past, Disney's shared blue sky projects with us before, like Magic Kingdom's new Fantasyland expansion and Pandora World of Avatar, which we eventually got to step into ourselves. But some blue sky projects do end up finding their limit and never getting the chance to be brought to life. Disney's thrown about concepts like a Nightmare Before Christmas ride, a Mount Fuji roller coaster for the Japan Pavilion in Epcot, and the big one, a Beastly Kingdom area for Disney's Animal Kingdom, but we never got to see these concepts actually enter into the parks for various reasons. And that's because not every blue sky project can be made into a reality, which is why we're on pins and needles just wondering what will become of the 5 different lands discussed during this past D23. Hopefully we'll learn more about their fates later this year, but for now, it's best not to get your hopes up about all of these areas turning into a reality until we hear something, anything, that's more concrete. We're also asking ourselves what will be announced at Destination D23. Before you ask, yes, Destination D23 is a very different event than the main D23 convention that happens every other year. Destination D is an event where Disney fans can be among the first to hear exciting announcements about upcoming projects, get behind the scenes info, hear from special guests, and so much more. Okay, yeah, it sounds very similar to the main D23 Expo, but this event is on a much smaller scale. And unlike D23, Destination D23 happens in Disney World. Destination D will take place from September 8th to the 10th in Disney's Contemporary Resort. We're expecting to hear some exciting new stuff announced this fall. Back when Destination D23 happened in 2021, we learned things about the new reimagined Little Mermaid stage show for the Disney Wish, the brand new Connections Eatery and Cafe for Epcot, which opened in 2022, some of the experiences you could find on the new Galactic Star Cruiser, and a lot of other information that came to fruition later on that following year. So what will we learn about the parks this time? Guess we'll have to wait till September to find out, but rest assured you'll be able to learn about all the details here when the time comes. Something else we're really wondering about, what's going to happen with the festivals? Let's backtrack for a second. When the new Communicore Hall and Plaza open in Epcot, how different are the seasonal festivals going to look in that park? Right now, we have a pretty clear-cut idea of what to expect year after year. We expect dozens of food booths around the World Showcase, some new, some returning. We expect performances in the America Gardens Outdoor Theater. We expect new merch and scavenger hunts around different pavilions. But now that these festivals are going to be centralized to the heart of the park, how different should we expect them to be, and what different food booths could we be anticipating? Will we still have the 4 festivals we're used to, or will any of them end up switching up or overlapping? And most importantly, does this mean we're finally going to see the food and wine special events like Party for the Senses and celebrity chef demonstrations return from their extended hiatus? Because I hope so. For the first half of 2023, with Festival of the Arts and Flower and Garden Festival, we more than likely won't see anything drastic changing in the festival scene yet. But as Food and Wine and Festival of the Holidays approach, we'll update you on what we're hearing through the grapevine, and if these events will stick to the status quo or give us something entirely new to experience. Alright, the question of the age. Will we finally see the Disney Dining Plan again? The Disney Dining Plan, also known as DDP in Disney slang, is a pre-purchased dining package you can add onto a Disney vacation package. The Disney Dining Plan is a fan favorite for several reasons, but the ability to pay for food ahead of your trip is a major factor for lots of folks. There are also several downsides to this plan, but we get into that in further detail in our Truth About the Disney Dining Plan video, which you can check out after this. When the historic 2020 shutdowns happened, the dining dining plan shut down with them and didn't return when the parks reopened a few months later. Unfortunately, Disney's been pretty quiet when it comes to the Disney dining plan ever since, but in 2021, they did say that the DDP would return. They just didn't say when. That brings us to our next question. What could the Disney dining plan look like when it returns? It's hard to tell just yet what Disney's got up their sleeve besides inevitable price increases, but we do know Disney hasn't forgotten about the DDP, even though it may seem like it at times. Just look at the menus for some of Disney's newer restaurants, for instance. The Disney dining plan symbol is still popping up next to certain menu items, which gives us hope that we'll hear news about this program returning sooner rather than later. And let's talk CEO, shall we? Will the new CEO make any major changes? On November 20th, 2022, Disney CEO Bob Chapek stepped down from his position and former CEO Bob Iger took his place. And all of us just sat back with our mouths agape because we were not expecting to cap off the year with that. That was not on our bingo card. Recently, we released a video that goes in depth with why this change suddenly happened and what it means for the future of Disney as a whole. And not to give you any spoilers for the video or anything, because you'll definitely want to check that one out yourself when you've got time, but a lot of questions are being thrown around about what's going to happen now. Though many Disney fans are hoping for some big changes in the parks, Iger's main focus will be things like working on making Disney Plus more profitable, repairing some strained relationships, and finding a long-term successor to take over after his 2-year contract is up. We expect to see changes happen in the parks too, but maybe not as drastic of changes as people might originally have hoped for. But who knows? Iger could shock us once again. New rides, new shows, new restaurants, and lots of up-in-the-air possibilities. 2023 is going to be a jam-packed year, but DFB will be here to help lead you through all the newness and unpredictability and those inevitable changes to make sure your Disney World vacation still goes smoothly and successfully. So keep checking back here with us. Don't forget to check us out on our website, our social media platforms at Disney Food Blog, and our dfbstore.com, where we've got updated 2023 guides live now for you to purchase. Just type in the code YouTube for some extra savings before you check out. And don't forget, if you want a complete list of all the big happenings going on in Disney World in 2023, send us your email at disneyfoodblog.com/2023updates so we can get that PDF forwarded your way. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.